Dude.
Okay, so people ask me, I've had the question asked before, what's the definition of fast car?
This one right here. What's up guys, Nick from Soho Motorsports, and today we're going to be talking about Raul's 2008 Infiniti G37, Soho Stage 2 single turbo kit, fuel return system, E85. Let's talk about it. All right, this is a fun one. So it's a 2008 Infiniti G37. This client went from a set of intakes on the vehicle, untuned, to full blown out, fuel return system, Soho Stage 2, E85, I mean, the works. So let's discuss what went into this build here, going from the baseline vehicle, which was basically around 300 wheel, to where he is at now. So it is a 2008 Infiniti G37, and as we always talk about, the oil gallery gaskets are a thing that plagues these vehicles a lot. So that was the first thing that we tackled. Seeing that it was a 2008, had 130,000 miles on it, we wanted to make sure that we took care of the oil gallery gaskets and freshen them up and put a set of the EPS oil gallery gaskets on this vehicle to ensure we had proper oil pressure to allow us to make the power that we need to when we applied boost. Most of the times when we see failures on these vehicles, it's because the oil gallery gaskets are blown out, they lose oil pressure, and then you have a failure. So if we're adding boost to a vehicle, that's going to be something that we really want to make sure we do, just to ensure that we have that security for that motor to be able to have the proper oil pressure. Now, after the oil gallery gaskets were done, we also upgraded all the timing components, timing chain guides, tensioners, water pump, oil pump. All of that was upgraded in regards to ensure, once again, that we were ready for boost. After we did all that, when you're making power, you want to make sure that you're able to put the power down. If you can't put the power down, it's going to be useless. So what does that mean? That basically means that in the driveline, we have to upgrade the clutch. So even with the Z1 clutch kits, we have to upgrade the differential, going from an open LSD, going from an open differential to an LSD will allow him to put down both of the tires onto the pavement, so that way you don't have that one wheel peel, as people call it when you have an open diff. Now that we have the driveline components taken care of and ready to go, it was time for boost. So this has got our Soho Stage 2 single turbo kit, which utilizes the G35 1050 turbo. Nice turbo, great when you start adding it to the VHR motor, just because it's going to help with the top end. So Stage 2 single turbo kit, what did it put down on pump gas? This vehicle on pump gas basically put down very, very, very good numbers. On pump gas at 10 PSI, it put down 567 and 452 foot-pounds of torque. That's on pump gas. So we're still on pump gas making that type of power. Now, as I always say, we want to try to keep it below 14 PSI. So at 13.6 PSI, still on pump gas, it put down 630 and 472 foot-pounds of torque. Great numbers on pump gas. Now, we baselined this vehicle just to see what it put down before we did any of these mods. This vehicle put down 305 wheel and 239 foot-pounds of torque. So we almost doubled, actually we did double the horsepower just on pump gas. Now, do keep in mind, we've got a fuel return system on this vehicle, 1300 cc injectors, 525 Hellcat fuel pump. So that allowed us to basically run E85 with this setup. Now, the nice thing about this vehicle here is it's got the Z1 fuel return system, and we also upgraded the fuel pump housing to a VHR fuel pump housing to allow us to use everything we can to make sure that it works properly to allow us to make the power that we were after. His goal was 500 to 600. We beat that, and we gave him a little bit more as well too. So let's talk about what kind of power this vehicle put down on E. On E60, this is basically what it put down. So same boost level, map 1, it put down 602 and 474. That's a little bit over 10 PSI that he put that down on E60. Now, second map, when we did the E60, he put down 674 and 514 foot-pounds of torque. So we're going up, we're going up. So as far as the third map is going to be basically an E map only, which is going to allow us to run almost 15 or more PSI. So on map 3 at 15.8 PSI, he put down 704 and 516. Do keep in mind, this is still a stock motor. So 700 wheel on a stock motor. Now, how are we able to do that? So the way that we do that is we ramp the boost up on the top end, which allows us to keep the torque low on the bottom end, which is the main reason why a lot of these things fail. You have torque come in really, really quick. You have a lot of torque coming in really, really quick. That's what happens. These rods are not meant to handle that type of torque really low. So if you look at the power band on his E-Map, you can see as we get above 5,500, 6,000, it flatlines and allows us to stay right below that 550 foot-pounds of torque, which is the threshold that I discussed. For the VHR, 550 or so is where you want to be at or below at, so you have the longevity. So fun build. He's got the ARC exhaust in here, and we had to modify that to allow it to mate up to the single turbo, because on our single turbo kit, it goes from the downpipe to the catback adapter portion, which basically stops where a stock wide pipe location would end. So that's the full build. We basically topped it off, the cherry on top with the Soho catch can. Still utilizes the actual cover, the Infiniti cover. So I mean, this thing looks good, it drives good, makes great power. I can't wait to see what Raul's reaction is when he gets this vehicle. I'm sure he's gonna be like a kid in a candy store and he's gonna enjoy this vehicle. Let's go for a ride with Justin, see what it does on these cold streets, and also utilize the traction control map that we have on the EcuTech, because with this vehicle, we also did upgrade the ECU from the 08 ECU to 09 Plus ECU, which allowed us to use the EcuTech software, which in case allows us to use the boost option and control the boost via solenoid. So that's what allows us to do the 3 different maps and allows us to adjust boost via the boost solenoid, which taps into the ECU, and then we can adjust it based off of duty cycle. So let's go for a ride, see what it does. All right, so Raul's 2008 G37, like I said earlier, it went from bone stock, no tune, set of intakes to full-blown, give me everything.
That's right. And y'all, I'll tell you something cool. This car is sneaky. It is quiet. It drives like a stock car, and it made 700 horsepower.
Yeah. And it's also really cold here today. So
it is. So it's 30 something out. So the roads are cold, the tires are cold, but fortunately they got that traction control map to help keep the everything from getting too squirrely. So let's see how she does.
Let's see what it does. Dude.
Okay, so when people ask me what's, I've had the question asked before, what's the definition of fast car?
This one right here. Oh, God.
So the difference is you have to really judge whether you have the room to go wide open throttle in a car like this in front of you, because some cars you can't do that in traffic. This thing is rowdy, and that was a 3. That was starting at 3. I bet second's going to be great.
Oh my God.
Let's find out.
Dude, this car is dumb. What did we hit on that? Over 100 something?
We're in Mexico, so what's it in kilometers an hour? 160 kilometers an hour? Something like that.
This thing is dumb. And you can hear the traction control.
It's hanging in there. I'm grateful it was. It let it do just a little bit of squirreling, which is good, because with it being this cold outside today, you got to put some kind of heat in the tires to get it to have a prayer and to hook in at all.
This car.
It's so quiet.
It is.
It's so quiet and sneaky. Like, people are not going to know what hit them when this thing pulls up next to them. Like, supercars beware, because
yeah,
the G is coming for you.
And it's crazy because it's got the combination of like the supercharger and turbo. The turbo comes in, hits hard, and then just keeps carrying like a supercharger.
It does, and the charger. So this is the G35 1050. So I mean, it's one of the setups to where it's not crazy punchy, but once that charger's spooled, you shift gears quick. It just pulls and pulls and pulls till you let out. There's no fall off at the top.
No, that was fun.
Oh, this thing's fast.
Dude, these guys in Wisconsin are...
This thing's fast. I'm so excited for the owner. Raul is such a good dude. He's been awesome through the entire process. And he's got like a 100% certified ripper. This thing is nuts.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is, and it drives like stock. It's quiet until it's not.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep. Because it's got the, all of our kits, at least most of the kits that we do have the open gate. So with it being a 1050 model, the gates open up a little bit later. So I mean, even when you're just cruising around in regular traffic, nobody's gonna know this thing's boosted. It's very sneaky and quiet and very well behaved.
Yep.
And then it just turns into an animal. when you put your foot on the floor.
That was fun.
That was fun. That was.
It's something with the G's, man.
That'll get your blood flowing like first thing in the morning. Of course, this is an 08. You know, they've got the what do you call it? The reputation for not being able to do EcuTech on it. So this has one of our 09 conversions, which I'm sure Nick covered in the overview. But I got to do that again. You ready?
Yep.
Boy, that traction control's working. It's like, hold on. Oh, man.
Man, that was fun. He's going to enjoy this thing. And then we just put the AC back on, or the heat, and we're good to go.
Yeah, because it is 30 out, so of course the windows are fogging up with the steamy dudes in here. So, oh, man.
That was what, second?
That was second. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was second. It lit it up. So,
fun, man.
Raul, thank you for your business. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you. I mean, this is awesome, and I can't wait for that snow to clear up and the roads drop in Wisconsin, so you can go spank some very unassuming people in their sports cars.
For sure.
That thought just gets me giddy. I love it.
Yeah, man, this is a fun one. So, yeah, once again, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below, and we'll catch you on the next one.